Right. Hello, everybody. Hey, this is Dan Boul coming at you from 65 amps in North Hollywood, California. Today is June 13th, if you can believe that. Isn't that crazy? I'm here with my trusty Les Paul and a little Ventura head. Just going to kind of play some guitar today and take a lot of questions. So we got some good questions going already. Let's maybe focus some more on technical stuff today. I'll run you through the Ventura. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Ventura, it's a pair of 6v6s. And the clean side that I'm playing on now is the EF86 tube. And then when I go over to the dirty side, I'm kicking in a 12AX7 on top of that. To give you a little more gain. Nice clams, huh? And then it has our master voltage on it. It has an effects loop. So it's a great little grab and go. You can see that it's little. And it's very fun. It's very, very fun. I don't know, I got blues licks on the mind today. So we already have a couple of good technical questions here. Third Coast Guitar. Where are you? Third Coast. Where are you, Third Coast? Tell me a good story. Third Coast Guitar asks, what's the difference between the transformers from the London Pro versus the Mercuries? The transformers in the London Pro come from Chicago, actually. And those are machine wound. So, but it's M6 steel, the whole bit. It's just machine wound, so it's a little simpler wind pattern. Machine wound transformers, machines can't wind as complex as hand wind, so it saves a lot of money. And you'd be surprised, 99% of boutique amps are using machine wound transformers anyway, so for us it's more kind of getting to what everyone else does. We can make it a little more affordable. Stratocaster had a question here that I should ask. If I use two 112 8-ohm cabs, should I keep the switch on the 8-ohm setting? Well, you're getting 4 ohms, Stratocaster, when you do that, which is not how any of our amps are set up to run. You're just barely using the output transformer at 4 ohms, so there's not much music there. Third Coast Guitar, did I answer your question? I hope. In Chicago, with Chicago transformers. I hope. Uh-oh, do we already have chat room lag? Maybe. Looks like it. I'm not seeing posts come through now. Poop. In Stratocaster, did you hear my response to your question? What you ought to do is figure out a way to wire those two cabs in series so you can go up to 16 ohms, because all amps sound better on 16 ohms. Lag test, I saw you, Sanders, come through. Oh, Netcom, great question. I actually look forward to this question. Netcom says, can you explain a little more why amps sound better at 16 ohms? Absolutely. I wish I had a transformer here. I could illustrate better. Well, basically what a transformer is, for those of you who don't know, is a big bobbin, a big tube with copper windings around it that interleave from one side to the other. And there's a big stack. So the 16 ohm tap is the top of the stack. So that means, yeah, we're running at 16 ohms right now. When you're at 16 ohms, the wire goes in at the top. When you're at 8 ohms, it's about 2/3 of the way down. So you're not using that much of the transformer. And then when you're at 4 ohms, it's less than halfway down. So most of your transformer is not even being used when you're at 4 ohms. The only way to use the whole transformer is to do it up at 16. Now, why might you ask, do people prefer 4 ohms? Because it covers up bad behavior. It's also cheaper to make a transformer that's 4 and 8 ohms than it is for it to be 8 and 16. So if you're using kind of second-rate parts, or, your amps are doing, the 16 ohm tap's more detailed. You're going to get more information coming out of it. So if your amp's doing something you don't want to come out, then the 16 ohm tap's going to reveal that. 4 ohm tap will cover it a little bit. Already getting sweaty in here. I got a lot of lights on today, sorry. Except for the phone ringing. Does that answer your question? Well, 4 ohms usually doesn't sound raunchy. It usually just sounds kind of dull. So on the same question, why did Fender design so many amps to run at 4 and 2 ohms? Well, Leo Fender was notoriously the cheapest guy in the amp business. So he bought the cheapest stuff he could get. And I like the Bandmasters that came out to 2.7 ohms. It's because he got a really good deal on a bunch of 8 ohm 10-inch speakers and didn't want to pay for the right impedance ones. But it's cheaper to make them that way. And, Fenders now, the old Fenders that turned out good are great. But you got to remember, at the time, Fender was, sort of Ford pickup truck in the amp world. It was a strong, reliable amp. Yes, Josh, I think you nailed it right there. You like cheap trannies. Stratocaster Mojo asks a great question. Can you explain how some companies, I assume that's what you meant, have 2 different wattages listed for running A or AB? I was under the impression an amp was either Class A or Class AB. Oh, good questions here too. Well, Class A technically is just single-ended. A lot of people call a cathode biased amp Class A. It's not really. A push-pull amp can't be Class A. But so probably what you're seeing is different biases. You know, Class A, the way a lot of people loosely use the term, is a little lower power than being grid biased. Cathode biased is a little less grid biased. Grid biased amps are a little more efficient, but you lose a little bit of harmonic content. And so we like to cathode bias because we're doing mostly low power stuff, and cathode bias sounds a lot sweeter, but you don't get as much power out of it as you would with a grid biased amp. Stratocaster asks, so why using 8-ohm speakers? We only use 8-ohm speakers in our 212 cabs that add up to 16 ohms. So our 112 cabinets are all 16 ohm speakers. Are you using someone else's cabinet or? Yeah. We only put 8-ohm speakers in our 212 cabinets because we put them in series and then it becomes 16 ohms. 8 plus 8, 16. But all of our 112s are, we've never shipped a 112 with an 8-ohm speaker in it. You're using a redline cab in the 8-ohm setting. Well, that's not going to hurt it. It's better to have more impedance than less. So if you had the amp set on 8 ohms and you're running a 16-ohm cabinet, you're just going to get a little more distortion. It's no problem. The problem is if you had it set on 16 and you're using an 8-ohm cab, then it can kind of run hot and really reduce tube life. But I don't feel stupid, Stratocaster. It's all right. No reason to feel stupid at all. It's just a mistake. Yes. Well, I need to go try the 16 ohm setting right now. Well, go do that. Enjoy yourself. My Elvis combo should be set to 16. That's right. Everything of ours is 16. You're welcome, Stratocaster. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. Stratocaster Mojo said, I was the same way on my Tupelo. I also don't feel dumb, guys. It's just one of those things. You can always look at the speaker. It tells you what its impedance rating is. Yeah, that's okay. A lot of people make that assumption. It's not crazy. I just assumed it was 8 ohm as well until I saw the speaker marking. Yeah, everything we do, all the old British amps were all 16, and we do things very British style with our build. You know, all Marshall cabs are 16 ohms. All Vox cabs are 16 ohms. Because the Brits use really high quality transformers that the American companies didn't. So you really get some benefit out of using a 16 ohm tap. That sounds really good in my headphones today. Does it sound good out there? I got some better headphones, or just different. They're not really very expensive. They're less than $100. These are AKG K240s. And for some reason it's working. So what I have today is I have that excuse me, Royer 122V. And then on the G12H, I'm using that Mojave MA100, which I really like that mic. I think that's part of the reason I'm digging it today. It's really good combination, good texture together. That's going to be my go-to rig for a little while. Hey Eric, how you doing, man? Thanks for making it again. I appreciate it. We're just having a little Ventura action, low-key show today. Sounds crunchy. A little too hot, maybe? I'm on the dirty side of the Ventura. Sounds really fat in my headphones. Stratocaster Mojo says, sounds killer here. Makes me want a Ventura more and more every time I hear one. Well, thank you. Thank you, Strat. I brought a different Strat today just for you, Stratocaster Mojo. Yeah, the little Ventura is fun. See my fingers? I can just do it like this. Wear the guitar up high like a necklace. Mrs. Jones, you've got a lovely daughter. How well does it clean up from the volume knob? Volume's on 5 now. Didn't know Mark King worked for 65. Who's Mark King? Let's see, move this camera a little more. You can see more of the hands. Oh, level 42, you mean like this? Haircut 100. Wear the guitar necklace. That's just the volume knob. I guitar's rattling. This is a channel switching amp, but you just got a lot of choices. I've never needed a channel switching amp. So Chell asks, how would you describe the difference in the sound between the Ventura and the Empire? I have a hard time hearing the difference between them on the sound clips on the internet. Are you listening to those on your computer speakers, Chell, maybe? They should sound really different. I think that might be it. You might want to try if you can get somewhere where there's some good speakers. The Empire is really Marshall-y sounding. There's 3 different Marshall voices there. We did it with 6v6s though, and we didn't really copy Marshall circuits. We just got the behaviors down. So the first channel is sort of like real early Marshall, you know, boy, I'm tired. I apologize. JTM 45 type thing. And the second channel is really, we used my Plexi Marshalls for the, oh, that's okay, Eric. I get it. We use my Plexi Marshalls as the reference. I have a 50 watt 71. It's not really Plexi, but it's the same kind of circuit. And then I have a 6900 watt. And that was a good lick, huh? And then the third channel is sort of a hot rodded Mark II sort of thing. So before, it's all pre-JCM 800. But we didn't use any Marshall circuits or transformers or just getting the behavior of the old amps with new stuff. It almost sounded like paperback right down. The clean on the Empire, it's more JTM-ish. You know, early Marshall, it really sounds a lot like sort of Pete Townsend-y high-watty stuff, but you can get that definite JTM 45 sound, you know that. Is that right? Yeah, sounds like your kind of amp. Well, we have a guy in Kristiansand and Oslo, Norway, who can get you one over there. Vintage Guitar Norway. Does Audley Freed play any 65 stuff? No, Audley's got a bunch of amps he likes, but he doesn't have any of ours. But he's playing in a band with Peter Stroud now, so that'll probably change. Peter and Audley are very competitive, in a nice way. They're really good friends, and Audley's a sweet, sweet, sweet guy. Audley's one of my favorite guitar players, too. Audley is killer. If you ever go YouTube Cry of Love, his old band, and it'll just kill you how good he is. This Gibson guitar guy says, I just bought a $3,300 guitar and I don't like the pickups. What the frick? Is it just me or do you guys find expensive guitars not having good pickups? Yeah. Gibson especially. Yeah, every Les Paul I bought in the past 20 years, I just pull the pickups out right away. Yeah, Fonz, Audley plays some matchless stuff. He's got a bunch of Fender stuff. He's got some old Marshall stuff. And he likes the early DC-30s, the Mark Sampson era DC-30s, which are good amps. And it works out really well on the show stuff. So. Yeah, a little bit of beefy. It might just be the way I have the mics placed, but... Yeah, this is just a production Ventura that's going out today. I just thought I'd break it in a little bit. Let me get out a Strat, just for contrast. I got this old song in my head. I can't get it out of my head. You might have to be subject to me singing the song, because that's the only way I can get them out of my head. Strat with the bass strap on it. Ah! I know this guitar needs tuning, so bear with me for a second. This is Kermie. Have you guys seen Kermie before? Yeah, that's right. Audley's a super nice guy. He's a real gentleman. Nice combination. What? That was crazy. Yeah, let me... Ooh, this is floating tremolo that's all flat. This is going to take a minute. All right, let's see how she do. Little booger. This is one of my favorite guitars. It's an 80s made in Japan reissue, 62 reissue, I think. Yeah, this is my Japanese Strat with some Seymour Duncan antiquities in it, just straight off the shelf. No, these are antiquities. Great Matsu. Not sure what you mean by that, Chell. Audley has a great line in that Gibson Masterclass saying that he likes to take a little bit of Pete Townsend and Angus Young with him everywhere he goes. Yeah. Japanese. Oh, Matsumoka. Oh, I thought this was the. I forgot the name of the factory now. They still make the Gretsch guitars there. Yeah, whatever it is, I love it. And the minty thing has happened over time. That's a great guitar. Oh, you can tell where's the serial number on this? There it is. You can kind of, maybe somebody can tell me what year it's from. That'll help. Kind of hard to do with 66s. I know, Stratocaster Mojo, these are Seymour Duncan antiquities. Yeah, these are great pickups. I'm sorry. It's one of those days, man. You're not boring me, Josh. I'm boring me. You guys, fantastic. Very, very fantastic. No, I just had one of those late nights and then got up early and I'm old. Can you give us any hints of next year's stuff? It depends on how things go, really. Right now, I don't have time to breathe. Do a little Just Got Paid. How does Just Get Paid go? Is that the... Oh, that's Waiting for the Bus, right? How does Just Got Paid go? Why am I blanking? T-shirts and bumper stickers ready yet? They're on the way. Gibson Guitar Guy asks, do your 112s have a blue, gold, or what? By standard, they come with the G12H30. We can put the Alnico Gold or the Alnico Blue in it as an upcharge if you want. How does Just Got... I can almost hear it in my head. For some reason, I'm blanking. I almost have to call it up on iTunes. I can do all the good ZZ Top Strat stuff, though. Don't have an echo. Let's What's another? I got a gal who lives uptown. She's kind of fun with I've got a gal who lives on the hill. She won't do it, but her sister will. No, the Ventura is 2 channels. I'm on the 2nd channel now, and that's with the bump on. You can turn the bump off. I'd slap my mom for that tone, Josh says. That's funny. Good old Japanese Strat with Seymour Duncan Antiquities, man. It works great. No, Chell, on the Empire, the bump is not foot switchable, and I'll tell you why. The 3 channels are foot switchable, and that was a hat trick in itself, getting a hand-wired amp to switch between 3 channels. And the bump on the Empire, most people just leave on, because you've got 3 different volume controls, so the purpose of the bump is to sort of, take you from clean and push you into distortion. But if you've got 3 different channels, it's sort of redundant. Tune. Oh well. Play it soft. Good questions here. Dan, are the producers still selling strong? Yeah, very strong. We've been very lucky. The producer and the Ventura are both sort of crazy. And where did I get my antiquities? I called up Santa Barbara and ordered them from Duncan. I've had these for years. These are like 10 years old. Just called up there and said, hey, I need me one of them pickups. What does the pull function on the volume knobs on my producer actually do? Yeah, it's a little bit of a gain boost. It's changing the sensitivity on the input a little bit. It's more for like, humbuckers and single coils. Stratocaster does more on the American side. Yeah, that's right. Clinkers. It's hard when you're laying back in an office chair to play guitar and play well. Right. Now on the Tupelo, it's actually a little different, Stratocaster Mojo. On the Tupelo, what it's doing is making the tube full range, so it gives it more work to do, which will sound like gain, but it's a lot more natural than just changing the gain structure on the tube. It is more hi-fi. There's more highs and more lows. That's right. And it's very useful on that amp. I think of how the whole song goes. I can't remember the intro. Does anyone remember the intro? No, it starts out B minor, B minor 9. Then what does it do? B minor 6. Then goes into the craziness. What's the intro? Help me out. Does it go down to a 6? Where does it go? got it stuck in my head now. So I know it's B minor. Then you take the third out to go to a 9. And then where, Eric? B minor sus4. I don't know. F sharp 7. Oh, good question here. Stratocaster Mojo. I know it's a tough one, Eric. Don't worry about it. Stratocaster Mojo asks, can you explain how some guys come up with wattage ratings for your amps there? It's clean watts or max output watts? It's clean watts. Because the max output is just going to be, that's variable. Square wave output can be a few watts higher or 10 watts higher, depending on what guitar you're playing and how you play guitar. And that's on the circuit too, it really matters. Yeah, the Tupelo 20 watt and the Ventura 20 watt are pretty similar. The circuits are really different, but you get nice clean headroom out of this. Well, I'm sorry it's kind of a boring show today, guys. I really welcome questions today. I'm just so pooped. And I have this song that won't go away. How's it go? About to order a set of spare tubes, JJ's from Eurotubes. Anything particular I should ask for, just as close to book spec as possible? Yeah, for your power tubes, you want them tightly matched. And then for the ECC 803 12x7 stuff, yeah, you want it. You want to get them close to book spec as possible. So they'll push back on you hard when you ask for that. They'll be like, "What are you talking about? Book spec? Oh gosh!" They'll act like you're crazy, but they know exactly what you're talking about. They give away all their book spec tubes, and all they have is crap left over. So, what to do in San Francisco for the weekend? Oh my God, there's a million things to do there. Have you ever been there before, Josh? Oh, pardon me. Alcatraz. Yeah, I mean, you want to go down to the wharf, and I definitely run down to Monterey. If you have time, go to Napa Valley. I mean, there's a million things to do in the city. It just depends on what you're looking for. There's so much good food in San Francisco. But Napa's less than an hour away. It's a great time to be up there, too. I don't think there's a red light district. There's Broadway in San Francisco where all the strip clubs are. At least that's what I read in Bible school. Did the tourist thing last time, looking for more local stuff. Yeah, the Castro's good. What part of town are you staying? Hey Doc Electric, how are you, man? Today I am using Royer 122V on the Alnico speaker, and then I am using. I'm so tired. I apologize. I'm using the Mojave MA100 on the G12H30, and then I have the Mojave MA200 behind the cabinet. Almost gets back to the... We always get back to the song, don't we? No room mic today. I mean, my vocal mic here on my desk picks up a lot, so I'm just kind of leaving it for now. Jenny, Jenny, who can I turn to? Give me something I can hold on to. Cover band standard, yeah. You know, that's kind of when I quit playing covers, was in the mid-'80s. So I still remember all those 80s tunes. Bryan Adams. Driving home this evening, could have sworn we had it all worked out. Like a knife, but it feels so right. Yeah, those records all sound really good. I mean, they're a little bit cheesy, but who's the guy that played guitar on that? Jim Scott or whatever? He was great sounding, great guitar player. AC30s. AC30s and Marshalls. Come on, nail the solo. I can't remember it. I can't remember how it goes. If I could hear it in my head, I'd do it. Hum it for me, would you, T-Mac? Yeah, sorry. B minor, what? B sus2. That's not right. Something like that. Trill with whammy. Let's see. Are the current production JJ ECC 83 still considered to be the ones generally closest to book spec? I don't use their... hi, Eric. Eric Edmondson, right? I don't use the ECC 883s. I use the ECC 803s, 803. Hey, Frank. How are you, man? Good to see you. I don't like those short plate tubes. They just squish to me. They all just compress. Yes, the ECC 803s are the long plate. I'm still sticking to my guns about long plate tubes. They just sound better. Is the gold pin one? No, I don't worry about the gold pins. That's just marketing horse crap. We went away, left me a long time ago. Now you are knocking on my door. I hear you knocking. Isn't that what it sounds like? But I can't come in, or you can't come in. Oh, this is a good question here. Luke, not warm. I like that name. How much overlap is there between a Ventura and an Elvis? Not much at all. They're very different. Ventura and Tupelo, there's a little bit of overlap. They really have a different voice because they use different tubes and different transformers, and they have the same power tubes, but the circuits are just totally different. Yeah, that's a good point Eric Yar makes. Is if you're going to get gold pins, you need to get gold sockets because disparate metals will corrode. Yeah. I just heard him do that song. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking, go back where you've been. Is that right? So Luke, is there any specific... Sorry, I'm going to get distracted playing guitar. Luke, is there any specific points about the overlap between the two amps you'd like me to address? I don't believe in the gold pins, but they stated that the tube is better overall. Just guess. Well, usually the ones that they dip in gold are ones that work, right? So the gold's like, half a penny worth of cheap liquid gold. And it makes no difference in the sound of it at all. Excuse me, something in my eye. It's just a marketing thing. But if you ask, there's plenty of ones that aren't dipped in gold that are at book spec. I love B. Not specifically, just curious about the similarities and differences between them in case I want more than 165 amp. I have a Ventura and love it. Well, you know, thank you for that. I appreciate you buying one of our amps. If you want to complement the Ventura really well, I mean, an EL84 one would be great. You know, a little Elvis, London Pro, London Soho. Well, I need to answer this one really quick. Hang on one second. 65 amps. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. Can I give you the number in the shop? And call and ask for Joe. This is Dan, but I'm in my office and can't get out right now. It's 818-766. Oh, okay. No worries. 818-766-4265. Yeah. All right, sure, man. Bye-bye. Sorry, guys. I was expecting a very important phone call from that area code. That wasn't it. That was some guy who had ordered an amp and was anxious to see when it was going to be ready. 8675309. The Soho does sound very boxy. That's one of our most popular amps on tour. Pasadena Guitars calling now. That's one of my dealers. Hold on one second. Pasadena Guitar Hotline. Can I help you? Hey, is this John? Jeff. Hey, sorry. Hey, Jeff, I'm in the middle of doing my show right now. Can I call you back in a few minutes? All right. Call you in a sec. Okay. Bye-bye. Sorry, guys. Got to answer a little phone action today. When my dealers call, I have to pick up. You know. Are we catching up on back orders? A little bit, not much. I need money. I need a line of credit or something. I just can't build fast enough to make a difference. Guitar. Have you tried the lottery? No, I used to use those things. What were they called? Everybody had them too. They were great. Banks. Banks don't like small businessmen anymore. Our back order list, just to give you an idea, not to brag, so don't take this in the wrong way because I don't mean it that way. But our back order list right now is at the lowest it's been all year long. This is just what's on back order, right? It's the lowest it's been all year long, and it's $230,000. If I go to a bank and say, I have $230,000 worth of orders, I want to borrow some money to make this product so I can turn it around and make money, they laugh in my face. Now, before the banking crash, I used to be able to do these things and I'd show them my orders and go, oh, okay, we'll lend you 35% of that or something. Okay, great. And I can make amps. But they don't do that anymore. And now we're growing so much that it's really tough because I'm just at the max capacity and people want amps. So I'm out actually looking for cash. I'm talking to some folks that might be able to help us so I can get out of this sort of growth trap that I'm into. We're not caught up on cabinets yet. We're not caught up on anything, to be honest. It's just the more we ship, the more we sell. It's sort of frightening. Every time we ship out 10 boxes, 15 orders come in. So it's really good. I'm really grateful, but that's one of the reasons I look so exhausted. And I'm pretty stressed out because I got a lot of people that are tired of waiting for amps, and it's a hard one. It's a hard one to explain, even though it's the truth. It's a good problem, and we're very lucky, and I'm very grateful, but I'm trying to figure a more graceful way to do this at this level. If we're getting the kind of sales now that I need to just build like crazy. What speaker is in your 112 at Musician's Friend? That is a G12H30, which I believe is the best ceramic magnet speaker that Celestion makes. It's fantastic. Not hiring techs right now. Third Coast Guitar. I'm going to have to hire another builder. Water good. So, yeah. We're in a growth problem. And I just happen to be... Ooh, Frank, I like what you just wrote. I just happen to have business success during a recession when banks don't work with. I mean, they'll give me a line of credit if I put my house up for collateral. It's kind of just silly. Like, really? My house? My corporation that does a lot of sales isn't good enough anymore. It used to be. There was no problem. We get our loan, we pay it back. Go back and get another one, we pay it back. It was easy. You had to work hard. Oh, that's a very nice offer, Fonz. I'll come and build some amps for you. They might not be any good, but I can build them. Well, I'll think about that. That's a really sweet offer. And, I'll get back to you as soon as I make a decision on that one. No. So Frank... 767-400 says, I tried my EP3 through my producer's loop. Very cool. Oh, yeah. That's a good rig right there, isn't it? That works really well. Yeah? No? Good? No? Nothing? Well, listen, guys. We're coming up on 125. Are there any other questions you want to go over? I know it's been a really sort of slapdash show. I apologize that. Child labor is cost effective. No, we're not moving to China. You've got $100K laying around, I can get it back to you if you've got 100,000 laying around, I can get it back to you in 12 weeks. If you want to make a quick hit on that, you want to make $4,000 in 12 weeks, FP Mike, do it. Oh, yeah, Frank, that's a good thing. Yeah, seriously, factoring. I used to be able to factor this stuff, but now they only factor stuff that you've already built. So I can't factor my orders anymore. And the factoring was 2% a month. So you borrow what you need for a month and you pay 2%, which is the same as a credit card fee. And you build it and go. I can't do that now. So yeah, if you've got $100,000 laying around, I will show you how I can get it back to you. I'm serious too, FP Mike. I will show you the orders and I will show you my build time, my build cost, my aggregate overhead in the meantime, and exactly the day that I can pay you back. So basically what I will do is sell you these checks. It's 2 orders that add up to about $100,000, and I will throw in a shirt. Thank you, Stratocaster Mojo, for saying that. And I'll give you 2% a month on it. I'll need it for about 8 weeks. 8 to 10 weeks. So I'm saying 12 weeks just to buffer myself. But yeah, I have bona fide offers from stores that are no risk whatsoever. It's just a quick 2% a month. I'm offering it, and a bumper sticker. I will give you the bumper off my car if you want that, Eric, let alone a bumper sticker. When's the IPO? Oh, God. That's a lot of paperwork. Yeah, I should sell some shares, get some money to work with, but I don't think we're big enough to do that yet. Go Facebook. Yeah, well, listen, you know, I could IPO for less than half of what Facebook did, and I'd be happy. Don't you think? That seem reasonable? Yeah? No? Nothing? Is this thing on? Oh, I'm sleepy. Let investors pay for the amps. I'm not sure how that would work, but I'll do it. No, FP Mike, if you want to talk to me seriously about it, you can drop me a note on Facebook or just Dan at 65 amps. I'll give you paperworks, notarized documents, the whole thing. Trying to do that right now. I'm talking to 3 or 4 people trying to sell a couple of invoices. It's the only way to get money going. It's the only way to build faster. You know, right now I can only build with what I got paid for that I shipped last week, and that's not good. That's not good at all. It keeps me very slow. It puts a hard ceiling on how much I can build. So if I used to be able to go and just borrow money against the orders, and then I'd build like crazy, ship them all out, get paid for them, pay the loan off. It was very good. Ask Kevin in the Shark Tank. Yeah, I need to go on Shark Tank. The thing about those guys is they want to own part of the company. You're absolutely right, TMAC01. Southern California banks are not friendly to small businesses at all. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But indeed, they don't give me any rhythm at all. They don't care. I mean, I can show them my order board. I mean, it's really, honestly, it's the smallest it's been all year, and it's $230,000, which is more business than a lot of boutique amp companies do in a whole year. And if I had the cash, I could make all that stuff in about 8 to 10 weeks. And then I'd get that much back on order. Have I thought about moving to Vegas? No. Not unless there's no apartments left on the sun. I'm not a desert guy, unfortunately. I am a softie. I need green trees and grass and water. Flowers. Bushes. What about 65 amps bonds? Yeah, sure. Nah, credit unions don't do it either. Josh says, I like the grass part. That's funny. Gibson Guitar Guy says, how'd you get so popular apart from just having a good product? I don't know. I'm sorry to tell you. I mean, we try really hard. And we treat our customers like family, which I think that's a big part of it. And we try to be really honest with people, straight up, and not spin you with, what's the phrase? Bullshit. Just try to give you a good product at a reasonable price. And yeah. We just love what we do. I think that shows, I hope. Oh, thank you, Blue Raja. Where are you, Blue Raja? I haven't seen you here before. Where are you from? That's a very nice thing to say. I appreciate it. Texas. All right. And thank you, Chal. Aren't you glad that an American can say your name? Or close. That's great. What part of Texas are you, Blue Raja? Let me get this camera a little more over here. Oh, you're in Dallas. All right. Yeah, we got a dealer there in Dallas. He always sells through pretty hard, though. And Nevada offers a lot of stuff to businesses transferring. Yeah. Come back to Georgia. I wouldn't mind. There's no music business in Georgia. It's really small. I mean, I think the only other place that could realistically run a successful amp company in the U.S. would be Nashville. And for as much music business as there is in Nashville, and there's a lot, there's 10 times more here in L.A. Nah, Austin doesn't have a scene, man. Austin's got a live bar scene, but there's not much recording going on there. And, you know, people from all over the world come to L.A. when they tour, not so much Nashville. You know, the taxes aren't that bad in California. I think if I got a lot bigger, it would start to get punishing, but it's really not. It's not that bad. I know people like to pick on us, but it's, you know, it's kind of normal. You know, our workers' comp overhead is the same here as it is everywhere, and there's a lot of tax breaks here. It depends on how you set up your company too. We're an S corp. Excuse me, we're not a C corp. We're an S corp, and they're pretty friendly to S corporations here. It's not that bad. It probably would be cheaper in some other places, but it's not punishing. And the bonus that we get for being right here in the music business is huge. So I think that's important, really. It makes a big difference, you know, because the biggest bands in the world rehearse right down the street, and they all record here in town, and even big country acts record here in town. I see my Nashville artists here in LA more than I would if I lived in Nashville, I think. Chell, you're going to order that Empire with a 212. Excellent. Do you know our dealer in Norway? Arne Hast at vintageguitar.norway. Let me give you his information here really quick. It's on our website, but I'll grab it for you. He's no problemo. Hold on one second. Let me get a browser open here. I'll get it for you. Happy to help. Arna's a fantastic dealer for us, too. Let's see. Where's me dealers? Where's me dealers? Let's see, that's France, that's Holland. All right. I'll give you all of his information here. Oh, you have his telephone number. Oh, okay, great. Here's all this. And Arne is the man, Arne Hast. Any tricks to breaking in speakers? Well, I have a computer program that I use that generates wild frequencies, oscillations, and moves the speakers a lot, so that they're nice and broken in, but not worn out at all. Doesn't wear them out a bit. They're brand new, but they're just really friendly. The best way to do it, Gibson Guitar Guy, is just play them. You know, if you can spend one afternoon just kind of blowing your brains out playing guitar, you'll break them in. If that makes sense. I have a program that works. What about connecting to a Variac? Dan, is that NASA sound thing available online? I was looking for it. No, you know what? Somebody gave it to me 10 years ago, and I've never been able to find it since. There was a link, and I downloaded it and made a CD out of it, and I can't find it anymore. I wouldn't. What Third Coast Guitar? What would you want to do with a Variac? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, because I'm a little slow. You better back her up. That's right, man. Just fire up, throw down, baby. Oh yeah, no, I've got the program backed up. It's on my iCloud thing, so I can access it from all my computers and my iPhone and my iPad and my iPod and my daughter's iPod. Yeah, it works great. And I have it sitting on a computer in our burn room, and it goes into a mixing, rack mount mixer, and we burn the amps for about 48 hours. It's 60 hertz. Well, all power is 60 hertz in North America. But the Variac doesn't generate a 60 hertz tone. That's just AC. Frank says, I love the internet. I read one guy that said to use fabric softener to break in speakers. Just play the damn things. All you're going to do when you dope the speaker or strip off the surround glue or soak it in fabric softener, you're just wearing out the speaker. Your aged speakers don't last long. They're old. You've made them old. You know, speakers don't last forever. Not all 40-year-old Celestians sound good. Trust me, I have a bunch that sound like poo-poo because they're worn out. Mark Sampson said one thing years ago that I remember clearly is that if you dope the speaker and age it, you get a speaker that sounds really, really good for a few years. And if you take a new speaker and break it in properly, then you have a really good sounding speaker for 40 years. So which one is smarter? Yeah, I mean, any tone will move the speaker. I like to do oscillation so it's not doing the same movement over and over again like that. Our thing goes really, really wildly vacillating frequency things and different kinds of white noises and pink noises and beeps and bonks and whoa, 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 whoas and all sorts of things. It really, really softens up the speaker. Gibson Guitar Guy says, so my 65 cab speakers are already broken in. They should be, yeah. And they'll break in more, but they're already softened up and they're already doing what they should be doing. You know? Have you ever blown a speaker with that method? No, I never have. I never have. I mean, we do it through our amps. You know, so I'll plug it into an amp head and then have the speakers connected to the amp. So, you know, whatever amp you're putting through there, it has a maximum sort of power. So we break in the amps and the speakers together. It works very well. Yes, indeed. All right, fellas. Well, I'm going to have to sort of call it here. This has been really nice. I appreciate all the questions. And what was it? FP Mike? If you really want to do that deal, let me know. Call me. Talk to me, babe. I got to do it this week. I need to, man. I'm over my credit limit with all my vendors because we're making so much stuff. You know, I have like a $5,000 credit limit and I order $8,000 worth of stuff at a time. So what's up for next week? I'm trying to get Brian Kehoe back. He was going to come today, but just couldn't do it. His life's pretty crazy. So next Wednesday, hopefully he'll be back. And maybe start talking about some of the prototyping I'm going to do. So see what you guys think about that. Yeah, Brian's always fantastic, isn't he? Yeah. Well, thank you, Doc Electric. Thank you, T-Mac. You guys are great. I really appreciate you, sincerely. And even though I'm a tired, loopy old man today, I appreciate you guys hanging in there. And if you got any questions or thoughts or anything, please let me know. Oh, yeah, I'll get some rest. That's okay. I just got a lot of work to do right now. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all the kind words coming here across my screen. That's very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Let me know if I can do anything for you at all. I'll be very happy. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.